Well, one of the most beautiful spots in Utah and on Earth, for that matter, is Zion National Park. But it is also one of the most crowded parks in America, and the entrance in Springdale in Washington County can be a madhouse. So how about another entrance development on the east side? That's in Kane County. Zion National Park draws money and crowds. The Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute released this study this week. What you're seeing here in 2019, you're not using last year, that was a strange year, visitors to Zion spent $253.6 million in Washington and Kane counties, and they say that supports 4,483 jobs. Zion gets 40% of all national park visitors in Utah. Now, an east entrance development would create 451 new jobs annually, they say, and bring $29.6 million more dollars spent by visitors. Brent Chamberlain serves on the Kane County Commission, and he joins us live right now. Commissioner, glad to have you here. So you are excited about this. Is it more than an idea at this point?
Yes, this is an idea that's been brewing for several years and people working on it. We're getting to the point where we hope we can actually start breaking ground yet later this year.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a real plan in place. So what is it? How much would it cost? Who would be paying for it?
There's several components to this. Probably the first piece that people should be aware of is that there's no visitor center on the east side of Zion National Park. And there really is no place to put one inside of the park. So partnering with a private, the landowner that owns Zion Mountain Ranch, they're going to donate 18 acres to Kane County. We've worked with to have approval for a loan through the Community Impact Board, or CIB, for about a $15.5 million loan that we will use to build a visitor center just outside of the park on what was private land and now will belong to Kane County. And that visitor center will be staffed by both the National Park personnel and Zion Forever personnel, as well as Kane County personnel. So it'll be a great information center and a great opportunity for people coming into the park from the east side to get information. Now, there's a couple of other important components of this project. And one of them is Zion National Park. There's about 15 miles of trails that come up out of the canyon that are well used and well loved, and to the point to where in some cases they have to restrict the number of visitors on those trails. Kane County will be building about 40 miles of hiking trails primarily outside of the park. They all originate outside of the park. Two of these will go back into the park. Several of the ones that are there, you won't know whether you're in the park or not because the scenery is identical. Yeah. Incredible hikes. And so
yeah, it does strike me, and that is exciting to hear, because one of my questions, it sounds like the National Park Service they're on board to work with you with this and even provide some staff at that visitor center, because the crowding in Zion Canyon itself is so over the top that I worry that drawing more people to the area would just increase that crowding. So do you feel like you have a handle on how you can defeat that problem?
Actually, first of all, you mentioned the cooperation or mentioned Zion National Park. The collaborative effort that's gone into this overall project includes Zion National Park, the Bureau of Land Management, Kane County, private landowners, Utah Clean Cities. It's a collaboration like has not occurred, I think, anywhere in the country with the national park. And in fact, the former director of National Park stated that the park is 100 years old, and finally we get to design the entrance the way we would like it. So this will all happen on private land outside of the park. An important point is the east side of the park is little used compared to that main canyon. Mm-hmm. And so to make all of this work, to facilitate spreading visitation over the east side as well as outside the park of these incredible hikes, Kane County is working to create a regional transportation authority. This will be the third one in the state that looks like this. It'll start with smaller electric shuttles that'll travel from Kanab, Utah, down into the park to the visitor center, and visitors will be able to hop on that shuttle, and if it's crowded in the park, and come on up to the east side, hike the trails, and then catch the shuttle back down. Same thing, they can come from other areas, from Kanab and other areas on the east side, from their lodging or whatever. They can hop on a shuttle and get down into the park and go back. And so parking is a real issue. we can help eliminate a lot of those problems with the shuttle system that we're designing.
That is, it's exciting to hear about this planning. And I have to say, I mean, I think Kanab is just one of the greatest towns in the West. And so to get some more folks to incorporate that into this amazing national park is wonderful, Commissioner. I did want to, I wouldn't be doing my job if I also didn't mention one other thing that is in the news aside from Zion Park, which is, I'm sure you're getting a lot of praise and a lot of anger about switching masks in Kane County. 1 week ago today, the commission deciding no more mask mandate in Kane County. How do you feel about that a week out?
Well, that's not entirely true. What we did was we have a jail facility here that we house about 165 state inmates. And it was the last jail in the state of Utah to actually have an infection. And they had done such a good job. It was actually a state employee that brought the infection in. But the inmates themselves did a pretty good job of trying to spread it so they could get back to normal. So they, at one point we had 129 cases just in the jail. Kane County outside of the jail had like 6 cases, occurring in a week's period or 2 weeks period of time. So what we did, we petitioned the state agreed that they shouldn't count those state inmates against Kane County, but they did. They continued to count against Kane County. So we were considered to be one of the highest transmission areas in the nation, when in reality, Kane County is very low, has been very low. And so our primary action was to say, look, if the state can't do it, we will as a county. We're declaring that we do not fall into the high transmission rate. When you take the numbers of the inmates that are in the jail out of the calculation, our numbers are much lower. So we really went with the numbers that are appropriate with the lower transmission rate.
All right.
It's not as dramatic as it sounds.
Gotcha. It's really good to talk with you. It's exciting to hear about the plans down there, and I appreciate it. I hope to talk again soon as you start approaching this groundbreaking.
Yeah, we hope to have it later this fall. We'll invite you to come back. This is going to be a very exciting time down there.
I can never spend enough time down there. It's such a great place. Thank you so much.